Okay, Libra, welcome. This is going to be sort of a wild card, quick draw. I don't know what to call these readings. It's just like a one card pull, quick message that we're doing. I'm going to try to do these weekly. And so this is your wild card for this week of June 2026. Libra, what do we have for Libra? Angels, archangels, spirit guides, loving ancestors. What do we have for Libra? What message do we have for Libra? Oh, I was in two more shuffles, Libra, but we have a jumper. And I take jumpers. So Libra, your message for this moment is foolish mistakes, careless actions, and naive assumptions can lead to avoidable mistakes. This is time to reflect carefully before making important decisions. Pay attention to details and check yourself for errors that might have been made unknowingly. Libra, what you got going on? Okay, so Libra, so your guides are right away sort of giving me the energy of quick movement. So maybe there's been a lot happening in your life right now. Sometimes when we get swept up in it's not even the momentum of things, but maybe the sort of, it's like speed and momentum to me are a little bit different. Sometimes things move really quickly. Things sort of external to our interior lives, and we're just sort of going at that pace, with the pace that's established by other people or other systems, and we're go, 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 move, move, move. And in those circumstances, it's really easy to just kind of get turned around a bit. Whether that's sort of losing sight of your direction and purpose in that given context or moment, or just kind of making decisions based on choices that maybe aren't the only choices available to you. So something about this message, your guides are suggesting that this is a moment to take stock of what's really orbiting your life, and to know that you have full agency. Your spirit and divine intelligence and creativity is so powerful and so proficient that you can make, first of all, you can create the choices that are available to you, and secondly, you can begin to act on those choices in decisive ways that ultimately benefit you and give you the greatest good, the highest output, the most meaningful resources and abundance. So again, like, this is the energy of, this careless action, naive assumptions. Take time to reflect carefully before making decisions. Pay attention to details. Check yourself for errors. This is like that energy of, like, don't get lost in the sauce. Don't get swept up by other people's stuff, Create your own momentum. Don't succumb to the speed and the pace that other people are establishing in their lives. Or maybe this is sort of what's happening at work. Like, maybe work is just really demanding, and people are establishing or perpetuating these really unsustainable ways of being, ways of working, ways of relating to one another. You don't have to subscribe to what other people are putting out into the world. You can create your own reality, and you can regulate that reality based on the rhythm of your life that you choose, the options that you decide are available to you, and the decisions that you can feel good about, that you can really wrap your hands around, that resonate with your spirit, that bring you peace and grounding and like peace of mind, right? Like that leave you feeling confident after you've made that decision. Libra, so yeah, do your thing. Like, you are cardinal energy, you are a leader, so don't get kind of caught up in other people's whirlwind. Create your own weather, create your own atmosphere. All right, Libra, I hope that helps. Okay, moving on to Scorpio. Scorpio. What do we have for Scorpio? We're asking the angels, archangels, loving ancestors, spirit guides. What do you have for Scorpio this week as key messages and insights? Let's do 2 more shuffles. Whoa, we have a jumper. Okay, Scorpio, fortunate timing. The path ahead is lined with gold, and the energy around you is primed for success. This is the time to make a move and seize the opportunities before you. I think somebody else pulled this card. I can't remember if it was Aries. But Scorpio, things are sort of heating up, revving up for you. This is a season that has already gotten underway for you. And I think you know this. Something about this moment, I have Scorpio placements, so there's a part of me that can relate to this. So for the Scorpios that this is speaking to, this is a season that just feels unlike any other. Let's be truthful. The world right now feels like no other time that we have known as humankind. We know that this is a huge moment in our evolution, in our enlightenment, in our consciousness. So there's a lot of change that's happening simultaneously, that's happening in invisible ways and obvious ways and subtle ways and material ways. And you, Scorpio, you are playing a big role in your own space, in your own community, in your own area of work that is in line with this really pivotal, transitional moment that we're stepping through on a global scale. So this is a point in time where you just sense on an intuitive level that this is a ripe moment. Ripe in the sense that, like, you know, this is when things happen. This is the time to, you know, like you think about a ripe piece of fruit. You want to enjoy that fruit at its sort of peak ripeness, right? Like that's when it's the most savory or sweet and the texture is just so pleasant and perfect. And you're able to enjoy sort of the epitome or the sort of climax, the most expansive, like of all of the beauty and richness that that fruit has to offer when you enjoy it, when you eat it at its peak ripeness. So this is a moment that is really prime, that is really ripe for you to take action and to really sink into this energy and find the richness in it. What are those parts of your life that are calling to you and they're saying, hey, Scorpio, dig in, like enjoy this, like see this, like take a bite of this. This is ready for you. It's ready and waiting and available to you. And Scorpio, you know this. And so I think very recently, this has been sort of energy that's been accumulating for a few months, but really in the last few weeks, probably the last 2 weeks, you know, we had that Venus-Jupiter conjunction earlier in the month, or just a couple days ago, I guess. This is that energy that's here and concentrated, and it's golden. And so when we think about what it is to take action, to take initiative, and to lean into that moment or opportunity of ripeness, it's also about recognizing when something is ready for you. Something's ready for you to engage with it. Something's ready for you to walk through that threshold and into the next iteration of experience. So the sort of other part that I want to highlight here that your guides are wanting us to share with you is that underneath something being ready and primed, there's just a real beauty, and it's not just beauty, it's like an enhanced abundance, enhanced prosperity, amplified resource, and truthfulness, even amplified reality, true reality, not this sort of material world, but the totality of what is true and real. So there's multiple layers of ripeness, of this moment being prepared for you, Scorpio, that you are already beginning to take your steps forward into and engage with the energy and do those things that acknowledge and uplift and lean into and honor and highlight and even indulge in that energy. You're doing this, and this will go on for some time. So enjoy this experience, because in many ways this is giving the energy of sort of rites of passage. It's moving from one paradigm to the next. You are really placed in a position where you can have anything that you desire in life. And so this is the moment where you get to be really clear about what you want and to tap into that energy that's ready to give it to you. All right, Scorpio, I love this. I hope that helps. All right, on to Sagittarius. Guides, loving ancestors, angels, archangels. What do we have for Sagittarius? What do we have for Sagittarius? Let's go ahead and do 3 more shuffles, Sag. Oh. 1, 2. Everything has been a jumper. So like, you might be the first zodiac to not have jumpers today. Okay, Sag. I don't know if you can see this. Taking a loss. Just as nature moves through cycles, so do you. When financial or emotional loss occurs, step back and see the full picture. This is just a passing storm in a lifetime of unfolding abundance. Sag, so I think this is such an important card to, I think all the cards are important, right? But this is interesting because it's a different tone than what we're seeing in some of the other readings so far this week. But this is something that I think is really, like a critical message to come through. So Sag, yeah, this might be sort of a rough patch. This might feel like a rough patch. Let's call it that. This may, on an emotional level, feel like a rough patch. Maybe you have, been laid off, or maybe you have been looking for work or trying to make a move in your career, in your work life, in your business to increase your income, and maybe things are just like not quite clear yet. They haven't come into manifestation, and you're trying to figure out like, what button do I need to press to make this happen, because shoot, was starting to feel it. Or there could be an emotional, it could be like an emotional challenge. You might have recently had harsh words with someone. Maybe this is like a good friend, a best friend. Maybe this is a close relative, like a sibling, but it's caused some distance. This is the energy of rough patch that feels very intimate. This depiction has a rose, and roses always sort of symbolize, you know, romantic love, but you'll see the red rose in the center and then sort of black petals surrounding it. This is coming through for me as more of a kinship connection, more than romantic, even though we have a rose here. But this is love. This is clearly love. It could be the case that somebody here is, or some folks here have recently experienced romantic loss, maybe a breakup, or it could even be a break. Like, this is the energy of distance more than it is the energy of something final that's going away. Same with finances. This is not the energy that like money is gone from your life, you're not going to have it. That's not the case. It feels further away from you than it really is right now. This is just a rough patch in that you're feeling very strongly about the non-physical presence of that thing in your life right now, whether it's a person or material sort of income. What Spirit is wanting you to know, though, is that this is here for you. This presence is always here and is always available, from finances to love, whether that's romantic love or kinship or friendship. It's not gone. So this feels like the energy of like people kind of taking a break or taking space from each other. Maybe you're not texting this person, or they're not texting you right now, or you haven't talked in some time. Maybe this is like your bank account's looking real low and you're not quite sure when that money is going to hit your account, but it's here. The money that's coming is already on its way. It is en route and it's delivering itself to you. But Sag, you have to stay in that energy of knowing that this is your birthright. This is what you are deserving of, and this is what you're cultivating in your life through your, yes, affirmations, but also just your attunement to what it is that is your sort of strongest and clearest desires in life. So if you desire to have this particular kind of relationship, yes, it is here and it's available to you now. It's just about calibrating yourself to that energy. So if there's distance between you and someone else, there's something meant for you to gain from the distance or see through the distance, and to take that time to process and to allow your guides and your higher self to come through and provide guidance on how to then broker the disconnect, how to bring back to union your connection to that person. Same thing with career, business, finances. This is not your destiny to not have financial abundance and material stability. It absolutely is, if that's what you want. So this is about, again, it's a tune-up. It's just a point in time, a temporary, finite, and really short-lived point in time for you to have this experience that's stirred up in your body, where your emotional self and your nervous system are sounding the alarms to your feeling of distance or lack, right? But this is only meant for you to get a tune-up, for you to tune yourself up and say, oh wait, I recognize that I'm kind of going down that lack rabbit hole. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to. And I know that there's everything that I could ever want in life promised to me. So I'm going to take a beat and I'm going to reconnect with myself and find my way back to that center. I'm going to do the things that put me back into that emotional experience of joy and abundance and closeness and connection and affection and camaraderie and all the things. It's just a tune-up, Sag. So it's short-lived. Keep your eye on your dreams and the sort of horizon. You know, they're not even dreams at this point. It's really keeping your eyes, your heart, your mind on your true desires. And those things aren't fantasies. That's your truth. So allow yourself to tune up. Okay, Sag. On to Capricorn. Okay. Oops. Whoa. Me and these jumping cards. I'm not going to take this because this is just me shuffling kind of crazy. We dropped a few. All right, Capricorn. What do we have for you? Capricorn. What do you have for Capricorn? Angels, guides, loving ancestors, archangels. What do we have for Capricorn? Let's do a few more shuffles. Capricorn. Okay. One. Let's do 2 more. I'm shuffling a lot, Capricorn. I just feel like I really want to move this energy. Okay, and 1 more. Oh, okay. Capricorn. Self-fulfillment. You are on a journey of self-fulfillment, relying on yourself rather than seeking external validation. As you begin to trust yourself fully, you will come to realize that you are your greatest resource. Wow, Capricorn. So, Capricorn, first of all, this is some powerful energy. I don't even know that you need a read. I think you already know this and feel this. But your guides are saying, like, you're here. You have arrived. You have been on a journey for some time of really cultivating yourself on a material level, but you're already very good at that. That's Capricorn all day long, hardworking, earth energy. But you have been cultivating yourself on a very high spiritual level, Capricorn. And I don't even think you are always aware of it. But whatever you've been through has really caused you to stay in touch with your higher self. And you've developed quite a strong connection to your higher self. And this may be a connection that you're not even always conscious of. And that's the beautiful thing. This is how you kind of know that you're tapped in. It's like you're tapped in and you're locked in, to the extent that you're not even aware of the fact that you're tapped in and locked in. It's a steady state versus those moments in our life when life gets chaotic and we're trying to find time to do things, to connect to ourselves and to hear ourselves, and how those moments become the exception to our day-to-day. Those become the small moments in our 24 hours where we can connect with ourselves and hear and listen and see with clarity. But you, Capricorn, are experiencing the inverse. So you are more often than not fully tapped into your truth. Abraham Hicks calls it the vortex, right? You've been in your vortex, Capricorn. And just at this moment, I feel like you have that energy where you're looking around, or you walk past the mirror and you see yourself and you're like, that's me. That's me. I look good. That's me. It's like you've been so, what's the word? Like you've been so enthralled in like this new version of how you're doing your life has been so like it has flooded your awareness, your day-to-day awareness of yourself, that there are moments where you don't really even see all of who you are until moments like this, where you're like, wait a minute, yeah, that is me. Yeah, I am really fulfilled more often than not. I am really in touch with what I want more often than not. I feel really grounded. I feel really regulated in terms of my body and my nervous system and my mind. I feel really at ease. Life feels easy. This feels good. I'm enjoying who I am becoming. Capricorn, you're coming into yourself in the most powerful, profound, and beautiful of ways. And you don't see the distractions that maybe would have captured your attention years ago, or a year ago, or months ago. You just don't register those things in your current reality. And that is incredible. It's really you continuing to develop, to cultivate your remembrance of your highest self, and you continuing to grow in connection with your spirit team and your purpose here on earth, and the things that brighten your heart and bring a smile to your face. Capricorn, I love this. I love this. I hope this helps. Okay. Ooh, Capricorn. That was cute. I'm smiling for you. Like, that feels good to me. Okay, on to Aquarius. Aquarius. What do we have for Aquarius? Guides, angels, loving ancestors. What do we have for Aquarius? All right, 2 more shuffles, please. 1 and 2. Okay, Aquarius, catastrophizing. The mind has a way of amplifying fears and creating worst-case scenarios. Dwelling on potential negative outcomes can trap you in unnecessary anxiety and block the flow of abundance. Breathe, release, and choose faith over fear. Aquarius, this is a lot. This is heavy, right? So one of the things that jumps out right away as far as what your guides are wanting to share is that this card it looks ominous. It is heavy, it is dark. You can hardly see the figure. You can hardly make out their facial features. But you see this sort of like their mind is exploding, and there's all this energy that's coming out the top of their head, and it's fire energy. It's like darkness contrasted against really hot, fiery, like intense energy. So Aquarius, what your guides are saying right away is that it's okay. It really is okay. Whatever it is that you're going through right now, it's okay. Aquarius, you are air, and air signs are known for being cerebral. You can get quite carried away in terms of your thoughts, not in a negative sense, but just like you can live in your mind. It also means you have brilliant ideas, and you're incredibly clever and strategic and thoughtful and all these things. It can also mean when we're out of balance that we're leaning too far into the mind space, And what's important to remember about what's important to remember about the mind, if that makes sense. What's important to acknowledge about our minds are that, you know, it's a component of our biology in many ways. So the brain is the physical part of our being that is sort of the, you know, the computer component that connects all of these different processes in our bodies. Our mind, or some people want to call it the ego, like the mind can very easily make its way to being consumed by our biology, like too highly favoring, too highly sort of calibrated to the parts of our biology that make the mind sort of less effective. So if our mind is this intangible part of our being, like it's a part of us that has the thought, right? Or it's a part of us that we are conscious, where we sort of experience a conscious awareness of our thoughts. It becomes very easy to slide down that slippery slope where our minds just get carried away. And we're, okay, Aquarius, we're back. My camera died. It becomes easy for us to give away our power to the mind. It becomes easy for us to give away our power over our minds. And this can happen for a number of reasons, but bottom line is the higher part of our soul absolutely has agency over our mind and our physical body. And why this is important is because we rely on our higher self to keep us in touch with our intuition, our discernment, these things that give us true pictures of that which we are perceiving, true understanding of that which we are experiencing. Our mind, on the other hand, can get carried away. Our mind can lean into the parts of human biology that default to fear, that default to anger, that default to paranoia. These programs of our brain that are meant to support our survival, and they're important, but when misplaced or when not balanced, our minds can just kind of fool us and end up really being a burden and really being challenging. And so your guides are wanting you to know it's okay. It's okay. You're not in control of everything or everyone. You don't have to worry about worst case scenarios. You don't have to sit around stewing in fear and anxiety. It doesn't help anything to worry. It doesn't help you to have negative concerns that negative outcomes are on the horizon and headed towards you or the ones you love. That's not productive, but it's also just not true. Okay, Aquarius, I hope that helps. Okay, Pisces, and we're back. All right, we're gonna do 2 more shuffles for you. 1 and 2. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So Pisces, you pulled fear of responsibility. Let's see if I can get this in focus. A fear of responsibility may be holding you back from fully pursuing your dreams. Look deep within yourself and face your fears. Are you running from failure, or are you even more afraid of your own potential? Someone else pulled this card this week, Pisces. So Pisces, fear of responsibility. Pisces, this is energy that feels like there may be a new dream that you have. You may be, this isn't even the energy of being in the middle of something. This is the energy of beginning to imagine a new reality, a new possibility. Pisces, you may have your heart set on something new, a new dream, a new desire. This could be an area of work. This might be a new relationship. And you recognize that this new thing that you're calling into your experience, that you're manifesting into your life, will require some things of you that you are feeling, let's say insecure. Like you're insecure about whether you'll really be able to rise to the occasion and meet the standard or meet the needs for that particular circumstance or person or experience. Pisces, you are the standard. Pisces, you are the genius, the architect, the painter, the engineer of your life. And you, among all of the signs, have this incredible ability to imagine into reality that which you want to create and experience. And so any hesitation that this is new territory and because of that you're kind of unproven in a certain area of your life, or there are variables that you can't quite see, all of them yet. These are those things that we say to ourselves to kind of like talk ourselves out of things, or allow ourselves to give into what could be the temptation of fear. I'll tell you, Pisces, this is bringing something up that might be worth sharing. So I am an avid horse person. I have all these little horse things around my house. I'm a horse girl. I love horses. And they've been a part of my life for a long time. And over the course of my life, I've imagined different types of experiences I want to have with horses, or in this world of horses. And a big part of my draw to horses is the fear that they elicit for me. They stir up things in me that bring to the surface awarenesses of my own being that I don't otherwise encounter in my life. Horses are this incredible mirror in this way. And inevitably, I always know, like, oh, this moment is reflecting back to me how I feel about myself. I'm feeling doubtful of myself. I'm feeling untrusting of myself. I'm feeling smaller than I should ever feel, because I am not small in any way. I'm feeling insecure when I should be entirely confident. All of these things, all of these different experiences that we all have from time to time. But Pisces, this is the energy that's telling you, you got this. The fact that you received the inspiration, the inclination that cultivated this desire or this interest means that you're on the right path. So you can acknowledge those moments of fear or uncertainty that come up as you take one step after the next, embarking on this journey. But Pisces, you are the standard. Without having ever experienced that which you're calling into your life, you are already an expert at this, because it comes from a place of true love and curiosity and sincerity. And so you don't have to be vulnerable to those doubts when they come up. Your guides are saying, hey, it's good to recognize them, and now is the time to to sort of cast those things aside because they're not true. They're not you, and they're not useful. So recognize them and then sweep them out the way and bring into your experience that thing of trust, that thing of self-knowing, those feelings of confidence in yourself, but also in the universe. Nothing that could ever come to your heart as a form of desire or interest would ever not be for you. It's never not for a reason. And so that's where faith kicks in, right? We can trust that the universe has a divine intelligence that far exceeds what we can wrap our minds around as humans in this iteration, but we can lean into our intuition and the tools that our intuition provides to recognize when we're in alignment and we're on the right path. And Pisces, you are. You are. So trust the process and trust yourself. All right, Pisces, hope this helps.